I am Jesse Dollemore with the Occupy Democrats Report.
Hey, Jesse, it's me, Scribe again. I still don't have a name for this.
Since Donald Trump's election, Republicans have taken to social media to criticize the anti-Trump protesters who've taken to the streets in every major city across America.
Yes, and I'm sure in that same time, the Hillary supporters have not taken to social media to criticize the people who voted Trump into the office at all. At all. I'm sure they haven't criticized people who voted Trump into the office through social media at all.
They've even gone as far as labeling them terrorists and un-American.
And the anti-Trump people have called the Trump people racists and sexists and white supremacists and xenophobes and misogynists. What's your point?
To make matters worse, they have the audacity to claim that they were graceful and classy when President Obama was elected.
Aha! That sounded like a setup to where you're going to show us some evidence that they were not graceful and classy when Obama was elected. So lay it on me.
Listen here to Her Highness, AltRight Princess Tomi Lahren.
I don't think we experienced mass protests after Obama won in 2008 or 2012. No riots or mass tantrums televised for the world to see. I guess Republicans lose with grace.
Okay. So they're claiming that they're classy and graceful in defeat. This lady says that there's no video evidence of them being not classy and graceful in defeat. So now you're going to show video of protests after Obama's election and Republicans not being classy and graceful in defeat, right?
Listen here, Tommy. For 8 years, we saw your party try to obstruct and delegitimize our first black president at every turn.
Okay, Jesse, a couple of things here. First and foremost, as I so heavily baited towards this clip, this would have been the point at which you should have showed some video of there being protests after Obama's election by the right or by Republicans or something. But you didn't do that, which is really weird given how you started out this video and how you led up to this particular point. I mean, you'll show some video of things like that soon, but we'll get to that. Secondly, what you did bring up was the Republican obstructionism of Obama. Now, I'm not going to support the obstructionism of a candidate based purely on ideological reasons by any party when it comes to governing. I mean, there has to be some kind of compromise. But in you bringing up this criticism, I have to wonder, are you then saying that the Democrats under this particular administration should be cooperating with Trump? That your criticizing of the Republicans under Obama is something that you want to see reversed under Trump? Because I have a feeling that if there were headlines saying the Democrats were reaching across the aisle to ally with Trump, you would quickly disown those Democrats. I mean, that's a guess. I could be completely wrong. But if they do decide to obstruct Trump's policies, how is that a bad thing from your perspective on the opposite side of the aisle? Would you be cheering on that kind of obstructionism this time around? And if so, would that make you a hypocrite on this point? Just wondering.
8 years worth of questioning his citizenship and religion, the racist images online, racist protest signs, all the racist innuendo on Fox News.
I was going to insert a whole bunch of examples showing the vilification and demonization of Trump in this particular portion of the video, but I thought better of it because anyone watching this can just go to Google. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that Trump's a saint in any way, shape, or form, but to claim that slander and vilification and calling names and making accusations against Trump hasn't happened from the left is total and absolute bull, Jesse.
Depictions of Obama lynchings at white churches.
Yes, leftists would never, ever do anything violent to a depiction of Donald Trump. Never.
Start backing out! Start backing out! Start backing out! Let you know.
The emergence of the neo-Nazi alt-right movement.
Although the term alt-right has been coined into common parlance in the last year or so, The movement itself started way back in 2008, and the term itself was kind of taken from Alternative Right, which was admittedly a white supremacist website that was founded in 2013. Trump did not declare his intention to run for the presidency until June of 2015. The alt-right movement, such as it is, has been going on far longer than Trump's run for the presidency.
And, of course, the grand culmination, the election of a president who just appointed America's leading white supremacist as his chief policy advisor.
Are you going to offer any proof of that, Jesse? I mean, personally, I don't know the first thing about Steve Bannon, save for the very high-level, cursory description of him having run Breitbart at some point in the past. Other than that, I haven't had anybody show me anything about him being a white supremacist, and nothing near being able to claim that he's the nation's leading white supremacist. You know, you're stepping very close on slander there, but then most of the media is right now. If you're going to be accusing someone of horrible, horrible, horrible things, Jesse, you'd be best advised to present some proof of these claims. Otherwise, you're no different a propagandist than the people you claim are the bad guys here.
Is that what you call classy and graceful? Give me a break.
No, Jesse. Making accusations against people without providing any evidence is not classy at all.
Instead of demonizing peaceful Americans for exercising their First Amendment rights, your party should be apologizing to every American for destroying our economy under Bush.
Okay, that's rich, coming from a guy who just made an entire video demonizing half of this country's population for having an opinion that doesn't align with his. But if we're also going to start blaming people now for the actions of people in the past, how about the Democrats apologize for the repeal of Glass-Steagall? You remember Glass-Steagall, right? The act that, by its repeal, basically opened up the floodgates for all of the problems with the banking industry we saw during Bush's administration that led up to the crisis? Is that where you want to go, Jesse? Do you happen to remember under whose administration the repeal of Glass-Steagall happened? Oh yeah, that's right. Bill Clinton. The Democrats.
And for the racist backlash against President Obama.
Jesse, will you then decry all the people on the left complaining about Trump being a straight white male or blaming white supremacists as having put him into office? Are you going to play fair with all types of racism and not just those that tend to offend your ears?
And of course, for the election of a president endorsed and celebrated by the KKK.
Did Trump endorse the KKK? I don't remember hearing that story. Is someone to be held to account for the opinions of someone that happens to support them? In conclusion, and to clarify, I didn't make this video in order to be an apologist for any of the nastiness or hatred that comes from the right. But on the same token, I take exception to those like Jesse Dollemore that would provide a disingenuous pass to those on the left who are behaving badly, make accusations without evidence, and in doing so only add to the rampant divisions dominating our politics after Trump's election. I have no idea, and neither does Jesse Dollemore, what the right or the Republicans in this country would or would not be doing if Hillary had been elected. I live on this plane of reality, and in this reality, the left is pushing such hatred and such fear right now that I am becoming concerned for what may grow out of that in the near future. There's a quote from John Wayne that occurs to me more and more these days. I didn't vote for him, but he's my president, and I hope he does a good job. I want my country to do well. It doesn't matter who the president is. I want my country to do well. And what will stop that from happening is operating under a notion that anyone who disagrees with me is a villain, and anyone who says what I want to hear is my friend. We all have to be willing to compromise and allow for the possibility that our neighbors are not also our enemies. Otherwise, we'll get nowhere and improve nothing. Thanks for watching.